The document originally printed as the Unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America, or the Declaration of Independence, as it is called today, is the founding charter of the United States of America. It was famously and unanimously passed by the Second Continental Congress on July 4, 1776, while they met at the Pennsylvania State House, which is now called Independence Hall, as Philadelphia was the capital city at that time. The representatives who signed their now famous autographs at the bottom of the page were later called the nation's founding fathers. The Declaration has become one of the most famous, most copied, and most influential documents in all of history. The Second Continental Congress appointed John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Robert R. Livingston, and Roger Sherman on June 11, 1776. Referred to as the Committee of Five, they were charged with the task of writing the Declaration. Adams was a prominent voice for independence and convinced the committee to charge Jefferson with authoring the original draft, which was then edited by the Second Continental Congress. To accomplish his task, Jefferson isolated himself between June 11th and June 28, 1776, and wrote most of the document during that time. It was later officially passed by the Congress during the American Revolutionary War, which began in April of 1775 with the battles of Lexington and Concord. 2 days prior to the successful vote on the Declaration, the Second Continental Congress also passed the Lee Resolution, which showed that the entire Congress agreed that the British had no governing authority over the 13 colonies. Because of these things, the Declaration became a properly given explanation as to why the vote to declare American independence from Great Britain had happened. It justified the independence of the colonies, listing 27 separate issues the colonials had against King George III and claiming both natural and legal rights, including the right to revolt. And so it was that the Declaration of Independence was unanimously approved on July 4th by the Second Continental Congress, which was composed of delegates representing each of the 13 original colonies. The representatives knew that by signing the controversial document, they were committing high treason against their former homeland and its crown, a crime that was punishable by both torture and death. And yet, they did it anyway, with John Hancock in particular, famously signing his name large enough that the king would be able to read it without his spectacles. Congress then published the Declaration in multiple forms. On July 8th, 2 days after it was ratified, it was posted in the Pennsylvania Evening Post. On that same day, they had it read aloud in public for the first time at 3 different locations, in Trenton, New Jersey, Easton, Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia, all of which took place at 12 p.m. Despite its various printings in multiple places, the signed copy of the Declaration on display at the National Archives in Washington, D.C. is generally considered the official document. It was this copy, which was ordered by Congress on July 19th, and signed primarily on August 2, 1776, that was famously handwritten by calligrapher Timothy Matlack. Since that time, the Declaration of Independence has become a globally recognized statement on human rights that has impacted and influenced others, the world over. Abraham Lincoln thought of it as the moral standard the United States should always strive to reach. He and others communicated that it was a statement of principles which the Constitution should be interpreted through. He held the document in such high esteem that he made it the centerpiece of his 1863 Gettysburg Address, which is considered by many to be among the most famous speeches in American history. Beyond that, the second sentence of the Declaration, that states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness," is often hailed as one of the most important and famous quotes in world history.